Hello survivors, welcome to a brand new Soulstone survivors video. Today I'm going to be attempting an experiment. It's going to be the one of many to come in the future, but I thought we would do it with a really cool summon to start. So we got skill mastery chaos. We're going to do a single summon focus with Titan Hunt and see if we're able to do it. I'm going to do them on Sigil of the Void +0 just for safety, because they don't really have much going for them. With regards to the Chaos Golem though, they do have Taunt, they do have Disarray, and they do Stun. So obviously, if we can get ourselves a nice big slow going there, we will be good from there. Now, the reason we're going to be using the Blacksmith is because the Blacksmith has really insane stats. And because of that, the golems are going to be really strong in the beginning of the game. So the weapon stats are crazy, and so are the character stats. I mean, if you compare that to someone like Cursed Captain, I mean, look at that. And then look at the weapons. So the weapons are okay, but if you compare the stats to that, just the base stats, they are insane. So it makes sense to grab it on the Blacksmith over other characters, since the Ascensions don't affect your summons. Only your character stat sheet and things like that. So yeah, let's go and see what happens. Oh, do you know what? Before this, I just want to restart. We want to grab a skill that is a slow, so that we can get ourselves a slow on hit, so that we can get ourselves the slow to Brittle, because we're going to need Brittle to Colossal. I don't know, my brain just decided not to work there. Alright, so there we go. We started off with this, and we're going to grab Colossal on the summons. We're going to see just how powerful they can become with it, and it should be quite interesting. It's going to be quite fun and quite glorious. So we start off with slow. We're going to grab ourselves a slow on hit, and once we have a slow on hit, we don't have to worry about anything else after that. The rest of it will all just be damage for our Chaos Golems. And because it's a single skill run, we also get this devastation and the increased damage from the very start. So we are very powerful compared to any other build that we might have played. Alright, so there's our slow. Fantastic. We can now get rid of the skill and move from there. We just need to get another skill upgrade. And there we go. Look at that. Just perfect timing. It landed up being exactly what we wanted it to. Exactly where we wanted it to. So I don't think we need... We'll take a look at what the upgrades are for the golems. Unfortunately, they don't have cunning. So this is going to be a little bit more difficult than if we had anything else. But that's why we're going for the area of effect with Brittle, because they're going to be smacking fast. They're going to be smacking hard. And we just need to find a way to get them to come and attack the tentacles over here. So maybe by moving all the way down there. Yep, there we go. We got them to attack it. Pretty decent damage. I mean, not the greatest, but it's better than nothing. There's another tentacle down here. So what we want to do is we want to run all the way to the side. And that's going to get them to come to us. And there we go, off to the tentacle. Alright, there's one down. We need to come all the way to the side over here again, so that our golems follow us. And there we go, we got two on the last two tentacles. Perfect. Objective done. And we're going to grab multicast, and we're going to grab a bit of area of effect until we get the slow and the brittles. Now they do have a really long cooldown, so we're going to hope that we get some really good stuff going for them, like cast frequency, so that they one attack faster. Okay, perfect. So they do get cast frequency, which means that we can banish Relentless. So banish Relentless, grab that big magnetic actually, and go from there. So now they should be attacking faster. Fantastic. Now we just need to check the others. I need movement speed for them as well. I don't think we're going to need powerful strikes. We're going to grab one more slow and a +1 to maximum amount. Beautiful. So now I think we can only have 4. in total. So we do need the cast frequency. As you could see there, we had a really ridiculous amount of cooldown on them at 26 seconds. That is insanely large. So got to make sure we get all of that. Another +2 without Divine Legacy. Maybe Divine Legacy isn't necessary, but I think we'll get something that they can get. That's a legendary option that will be helpful. Also, luckily, as you can see, they do block everything, and because they got a little bit of AoE, they hit everything around them very, very quickly as well, so that does help. Okay, we get the damage increase, beautiful. We can banish expansive, and we'll go for the movement speed. Again, like we mentioned, movement speed is going to help them, and we are going to have to grab the multicast because I don't believe they have a multicast card, and if they do, it is very, very rare. So we might as well just grab the general multicast. It does affect them. Every general stat affects your minions, so getting general stats like the multicast will be good. The only reason we get rid of Relentless is because we only have the minions, and the thing is they already they get far more out of their own cast frequency than they do out of Relentless's. So there's no point in keeping both. Rather just do the one that's going to be far more efficient, if that makes sense. Okay, we just got to wait for our golems to come. All of them are this side. We need to just get them over here to where we are. So just run there. There we go. Perfect. So there are ways to slightly control them. I mean, it's not the perfect control of the minions. Again, no cunning, so it is much harder. But there you go. If you need to know, they work on like a little tether system, so they can only be a certain distance away from you, and by us standing like over here, they have to come to us, and by us moving away from the target, they are able to get to them. Alright, we are going to work on more movement speed. I did take the magnetic though. I think that's it for magnetic, and we're going to lock that. Another +2 golems, so we're on a total of 10. And it's going to be so beautiful to just see it happen when it does happen. I'm hoping it works properly, but the whole point is to try and get the slow to give them a far more of an effect. So we'll see. Don't need any more slows. The cast frequency, we need so much more cast frequency. It's going to be scary. We need so much. Alright, so first round is down. We get another 6 levels. We get slow to disarray. That's perfectly fine. Another +2 targets and more multicast, merciless, and movement speed. Beautiful. I think as soon as the summon has cunning, it becomes much easier. But when they don't have cunning, it is much more difficult. What is nice about this is, one, as you can see, they've got the taunt. So everything nearly focuses on them pretty much. The only problem is now when we don't have anything around us. So they didn't attack the boss, but there we go. We got them to get after Volkage. So majority of them are there, busy beating up Volkage. Okay, so Volkage was there so that we can get the slow to Brittle. Now we can go do Midorahk to get the Brittle to slow. Brittle to Colossal. And then we can go exposed on hit and shattered on hit from Broken and Mhyzahet. I'll say respectively, but it was in the wrong order, so it's not respective at all. Their damage is going to be interesting. I don't know how they're going to do against the Void King, but I think they could be pretty strong. I mean, it's only +0, so I don't see how they won't do damage. But I've used skills previously where it just felt really hard to play with them. But based on the Blacksmith's, stats, I'm hoping this works out really well. And there we go. We got the one on the Incarnation. Well, we got a couple on Incarnation of Fire, a couple on the Prophetess, even more coming towards her. And as soon as they get the Colossal, it's going to be fantastic because they should hit everything. They've got this ground slam ability as well, and we're hoping that that's going to affect a lot of enemies. Okay, damage increases. Life. We need the magnetic and we need the multicast. And we'll see, I mean, again, multicast, we're on 169, so they're already multicasting quite a bit, which is great. And look at that, beautiful. As soon as they're able to focus on a proper target, that target just gets done and dusted. What's really nice is the fact that they've got area of effect. They've got a skill that stuns, so we should be able to see a lot of the enemies flat on their face often. Okay, we are down to a 17-second timer. The only thing about the timer, it's only important for the very beginning. But as long as we've got multicast, it doesn't actually matter because we'll summon all 17 of them at a single time. And look at that beautiful damage. The only problem is now we have to kind of go behind the incarnation of fire over here. There we go, see? And you make them trail you. And then they focus on the first enemy on the screen, which was the boss. There's a +3 in the corner again. We'll go grab that now. Some life, more movement speed, vicious strikes is okay, the damage, and HP. Remember, HP is going to affect the golems as well. They don't really scale off of HP, but you don't want them to take lethal damage. That's why block is also really good for minions, because you're able to block enemy attacks, and therefore they can take lethal hits, whereas if you don't have block, they can actually end up losing their life, and you have to wait 17 seconds to respawn them, which is a long time. It's not short. Alright, more multicast. I see enemies over here, so let's bring the golems to them. There's some over here. There we go. The golem was about to go for them and then it ran up. That was very weird to see occur. Okay, we need another 3. Ah, look at that, beautiful. The game just knew. Okay, disarray to bleed. I'm not going to grab it. I don't think it's necessary to grab bleed, especially for the short amount of time. There's no reason for the dot. If they applied bleed from the start, then, you know, we'd scale it or something, but because they don't, it's not really necessary. It's just extra passives we're not going to be taking that are going to fill up the bar. So just get rid of them. I guess it's this one. Increases, we'll banish that, we don't need it. I'm going to banish armor because I don't think armor is that necessary. We don't need another hypothermia, we already applied disarray. We'll grab one more slow, but the thing is, it doesn't matter how many stacks of slow you apply, it's still only going to apply 1 brittle stack per stacks of slow. So even if you're applying 100 stacks of slow or you're applying 1,000 stacks of slow, you'll only apply the amount of brittle that is mentioned on the sheet, not more or less. So it doesn't help stacking more slow. We literally just need 1 or 2 of them, and then you're in a good place. Alright. And they're off. They're all on top of the enemy, which is what we wanted. Not as much damage as we wanted, but it will get stronger as soon as we get something like exposed. And then also the shattered. Maybe go for shattered first and leave exposed for the final boss. But there's our brittle to colossal, and now they should start hitting the entire arena. It will take a bit of time for their AoE to scale, but it should work out perfectly the way that we wanted it to. So let's see what starts happening. Yep, they start getting the area of effect. Beautiful. Well, we'll see whether or not that actually works out the way that we wanted it to. They are definitely hitting more enemies around them with less effort, which is perfect. Cast frequency, we're going to go for more critical damage. We need more agile with them. We don't need the slow anymore. And I think, yeah, we'll go for a bit more movement speed. I don't think we need more magnetic. So we'll get rid of that. I'm just hoping to get passives that are for the summons alone. Alright, you can see even though they weren't focusing the boss, but they are now, that we're still doing damage to him. Like there, that guy, these monsters are being hit from over here. So I did get rid of the... See, we shouldn't have. I got rid of area of effect, but we maybe should have kept it. So in hindsight, that was probably a bad decision. But it's fine, it's not the end of the world. Grabbing more disarray, more multicast. Obviously we want the damage and cast frequency. Still haven't seen the purple upgrade that you can get, although to be fair, it just looks like it's going to be multicast. I mean +1. Getting a lot of XP now, but that's why we didn't need the... That's why we didn't worry about the magnetic. That's why we got rid of it. Okay, cast frequency, they're now on 15 seconds. You would think with the amount of cast frequency we're getting that it would actually be even lower. I mean, 220% of whatever the amount was, you would think it's even lower, but unfortunately it's not. Also, sadly, like I mentioned, we should have kept the area of effect so that we could keep spamming AoE on them. I really thought we would have got like an AoE as an option for them personally. And then knowing I was going Brittle to Colossal, I decided, no, let's do it that way. But in hindsight, I shouldn't have done that. We should have just had them doing... Look at how crazy they go. Okay, they actually do a lot of damage when they've all focused on a single boss, so that's pretty cool. And they all have a taunt, so the boss is probably like, which one of you am I supposed to be smacking? Meantime, they are being beaten to death. Alright, more multicast, more lethality, more movement speed. We'll go to about 200% movement speed and then we'll call it there. But just remember, again, like we mentioned, they are going to scale off with your movement speed as well. So they're going to be able to run from monster to monster the more movement speed you have, and they'll be able to defeat everything sooner. So there is a point to getting a lot of movement speed, and that's to make your minions run like super fast, crazy people. Only a 1 spawned. Alright, so as long as it's not dodge the monsters, then it's fine. Disarray, damage and cast frequency. 14-second timer. I would like to get to about a 1 second, but I think that's more like a pipe dream. Imagine how fast they'll be attacking if they had a 1 second cooldown. Alright, final fight. Increase their damage modifier. Remember the quote from Planet of the Apes? It goes, ape together strong. So as long as we have... Sorry, that cracked me up. As long as we have a lot of the unit, we should be strong and good. So... yeah, just try and get as many as possible and go from there. We're sitting on 25. I think we can still push out quite a few more. But 25 monsters, or actually 23, because 2 of them decided to go and attack something else. But there you have it. We literally, she's going to just spawn on their faces. Actually, she doesn't, which is wacko. And they all moved away. That's also crazy. Can all of you go back to hitting Mhyzahet, please? Okay, wait, we've got to do something risky over here to bring them all back. This is why we get the HP and the block. But there we go. Colossal to dazed would be pretty good, but I think exposed on hit's going to help them drastically. And we'll go get shattered finally, and that should put us in a good position for the Lord of the Void. We do have disarray, so we could go disarray to disoriented, but I think shattered's going to be that little bit stronger. So shattered first. If we carried on going, we do have the opportunity to get disarray to disoriented. We've got the sandstorm for dazed. So there are other ways to get a lot stronger. If you wanted to try and push this further, those are the things that you'll try and get. But otherwise, you're just looking for those small things, those small updates, upgrades. Shattered obviously being armor reduction, and you can get enemies into a negative armor value, is far more powerful than just extra critical strike chance or critical damage. At least in my opinion it is. Okay, come on guys, surely you can do more than what you're doing. I'm expecting far better results. Let's go more disarray, more multicast, more disarray. And there we go, they're on top of the enemies. What's really nice is as long as I'm standing close to them, the bosses, I mean not the bosses, any enemies that walk near us are going to get stunned and destroyed because they do have that AoE stun. So as long as I'm close to them, I don't think we're in any trouble of losing HP or anything like that. Obviously, if we've got things like these guys where they're big AoEs, it's a different story, but there you go, they get taken care of relatively quickly. I mean, look, it's not the fastest way to play the game, but this is definitely a unique and interesting way. We want more cast frequency, we'll take the damage rather, and more movement speed, and I think we're going to call that quits on the movement speed, but it should be fine. The only thing is we're getting a lot of like bad luck with regards to objectives. So we're getting those objectives that give +1, +2s. No +4s or +5s here for us today. You guys need to come away from the corner there. They're busy sitting on all the enemies that keep spawning on the edge of the barrier instead of fighting everything inside the barrier. And therefore, like this again. Okay, there we go. Incarnation of Ice, absolutely melted. The Eternal Guardians busy being beaten on now as well. And then we'll go for the Plague Bearer here as well. Fantastic, look at that. And as soon as they can focus, bam, absolutely destroyed. We needed a +2, but there aren't any. Disarrays, laugh, +1s, multicasting. I don't have a lot left on this. The movement speed can be banished now. It means we see one more of everything. Instead of movement speed now we'll see something else more often. But I think 200% movement speed's a good amount. And there's a +1 over here. Fantastic. At least this one is where they run to us. So we just need to stand here and they go to their own slaughter. Fantastic. Final lock. And then now, one more lock actually. Multicast chance is at 313%. It could be higher, to be honest. We could get to about 500, 600%. But we'll see. Everything just got buffed by our anvil. Unfortunately, these golems do not want to attack the boss. There we go, we got them on top of him. At least by them just standing there wailing on the boss, they should get more. See, the thing is, I don't think we're applying enough Brittle for them to get that Colossal. I wanted to grab Advanced Tactics, but we didn't have space in the build for it. So maybe running like 5 or 6 of the golems and then running it like a singular focus instead of devastating blow. But you still need divine legacy, but then you don't need the focused mind, so you can put the other thing there. So maybe a singular focus would be better, where you got multiple of them, but then you lose the increased damage from focused mind and devastating blow. So it's an interesting one. All right. It's taken a really long time, but it's been a very fun time. So it's not about how fast it is, it's about the amount of fun you're having while playing it. And already this is going to go a lot faster because we've got +3, +3, +4. Yeah, the area didn't work as well as I thought it would, to be fair, to be honest. We should have kept the area of effect. But now you know for you guys, so keep area of effect. Take as much of it as possible because you want that to be as big as possible so that you can do as much massive damage as possible. So we tried to focus it, it didn't work. Do it. You wouldn't need as much movement speed if you landed up getting that much area of effect instead. So keep the expansives, guys. Ladies and gentlemen. There's the final one that we need to defeat. There we go, they're on top of it. Fantastic. Here's the +4. It is a boss fight. We'll just run to the back over here to get them to attack. There we go. They are fighting the shadow of whoever that was. Shadow of someone. They are busy fighting Alexi. We need more of you guys on top of Alexi. Okay, there was a loot goblin here. It doesn't help us. Even if we do defeat the loot goblin, what's going to happen is you have to finish the Lord, I mean not the Lord, the Void King, and only after you've defeated the Void King will it allow you to go through the portal. So it's kind of like I mean, we'll defeat it because it's there, but it doesn't help us in any way, shape or form. So it's kind of like a bust to get it right now. If you were continuing further than the Void King, then it's fine, but otherwise it's, yeah, it's a loss for us. Okay, more damage, more cast frequency, merciless cast frequency, and a disarray. We need all of the golems to come in. There we go. I don't know if maybe their AoE got nerfed. It feels weird. It's feeling not as strong as I remember it. But things are tougher in Titan Hunt than they are in Overlord. So, but we get stronger by getting things that we can't get in Titan Hunt. Like we can't get shattered in, or we can't get exposed, or we can't get brittle, or all these things. You know what I mean? Like how can it be stronger? It just feels weaker than what I remember. Okay, Alfred's down. We're just going for the prophetess now. So we're just going to move to here. Everything run towards her. There we go. You can see the HP starting to go down, which means they're in position. And voila. Let's go beat up the corrupted Arcane Weaver. And then we can beat up the Void King. The Void King should be fine because as soon as we are able to push them towards the location of the Void King, they should stick to him like glue. The corrupted Void Hunter is the only one that we fight as far as I remember. I don't think there's anything else there. So these things are a lot easier. Oh no, they do have monsters that spawn. I've just never noticed. But there we go. We got some enemies on top of the Arcane Weaver, which means we can just chill, dodge all of the attacks and just relax. Playing summons with taunt are always the best thing to learn boss mechanics in this game. So if there's a new boss that gets brought in and you want to learn how to defeat them or whatever the case is, it's always good to have that dynamic going for you. So playing the moose or the golems like we're doing are always the best thing to do. I just wish more of them. There we go. They've started to come to the party. Alright, so what I need to try and do here is we want... actually, wait, where's that area of effect? Oh, I want to just get over here, so when we spawn them all, we spawn them on the Void King. Does it spawn us there? No, it moves us. Oh, that's so unfortunate. Okay, as long as they're beating up the Void King, we should be fine. We did get 100 more area of effect, so they should smack everything. We can run to the back here to try and get more of them to come to us. It looks like it worked for a little bit, but they're not... I mean, look at that. The closest enemy is the Void King, so maybe their AI needs re-looking at, because they literally should be hitting the Void King and they're not. And why is the Void King focusing me? They have a taunt. No. Just stay away from me. Alright, so all of them are going to attack the Void King now, hopefully. And that means that this is going to go faster. So there we go. It is going a lot faster. Again, because a lot of them are focusing on the Void King. But you can see the difference the area of effect makes. One, it's actually lagging us out, having all of them together in one position. That's crazy. So we're going to get them all to come stand here. And that should let them hit the Void King and or everywhere else. Okay, they're all running away. This is why you needed area of effect though, so that when they weren't hitting the Void King, they're still hitting the Void King. But unfortunately, they've all started running away from him, which is a problem. But it's still okay. As long as there's a monster near the Void King, they will hit that, and that will count as being him being hit because of the area of effect. A lot of disarray stacks, which is pretty cool to see. And we just gotta chill, slowly watching the Void King fade away. I like how they're sitting inside his damage over time effect thing over there. They don't care, they're just chilling in the damage. We can move them out by standing closer. But the damage isn't there because they're not focusing. This is the only problem with not having cunning on minions. Cunning is a must if you want to play single minions.
Every soulstone, every whisper and curse, I control you.
And this just worked really well because they have disarray on them. But we are going to use that slow trick on pretty much every single summon so we can get the slow to brittle. And the one thing we are going to do is focus on area of effect. So even though we've got the brittle, in future we're going to ensure that we make sure that we take the expansives as well, so it goes a lot faster, so they have more area of effect. But there we go, 1.1 trillion damage. Hammerfall actually nearly doing quite a decent amount of damage. What it does is it just empowers allies, so it gave them more multicast and critical chance, which is pretty cool. And there you have it. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. It's been a really fun one. I'm going to keep these ones coming. Let me know if there's anything you want to see me do as a single summon, and we can go from there. No, I'm not doing quicksand totems. We've done it before, but I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe for more videos like this in the future. And always remember, keep safe, survivors. Until next time, cheers.